Oh boy, let's see if I can fix this at all. Nope, that's no good. There we go. Hopefully that fixed it. I'm having some cereal in a Cool Whip bowl, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because these are top tier cereal bowls. Like, they should just start putting cereal in these bowls. I mean, that's really good marketing, I think. Gonna be a lot of this. Not a fan of eating and talking. So I guess that's why mukbangs are usually really, like, people are pretty comfortable doing them. But no. But I'm like, I need to film a video and I need to have breakfast because there was a really long period of time that I wasn't eating breakfast. I was eating once a day if I was lucky because I couldn't get out of bed. Couldn't get out of bed, and I felt like I was in a hole, and it was way deep down in the ground. Might as well have just been a grave, at that point. And I was running on autopilot and doing the bare minimum of anything if I could get out of bed. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not doing the greatest right now either. And that's why we're having this discussion. Crap. I'm sorry if I'm moving you guys too much. Yeah. See if that helps at all. I also desperately need a haircut. Like, wet. It definitely looks like I'm trying to grow a mullet. But, yeah, here I go getting off on a bunch of subjects. I've been doing that too. Like, losing train of thought. And, I don't know. I had COVID, which was not that bad. I think it has a lot to do with maybe because it was Omicron, and Omicron isn't that intense. And maybe the fact that I'm vaccinated helped or didn't help. I mean, didn't make a difference. I mean, you never know, right? I think honestly it just comes down to someone's overall general health. And I don't have the best health at all. I am still struggling with diabetes. But I'm taking the right measures to approach that. I've already went and spoke to a doctor about it. And during this entire I guess I don't want to call it a breakdown, but I don't know how else to describe it. A slowly declining breakdown, and I got to where I did not care about myself at all. I didn't. I stopped taking all of my medicine except for my Repinerol and my Zoloft. The Zoloft, I guess, got to where it just wasn't doing anything, and I was probably just taking it to keep me level instead of just completely plummeting all at once. Because there had been a point in time whenever I did stop taking it and I started getting a little worse, and that was just for a few days, so I had to pick it back up. Oh shoot, I'm not even eating, I'm just sitting here talking. Like, who does that? Me. Breakfast. I don't know, this isn't the healthiest either, but it's a good thing I'm actually eating something. Whenever I actually have more time, I'm wanting to get some egg whites and some spinach and some tomatoes. And possibly a little bit of cheese. You could do it without cheese, but you could really just do it however. It's just something that I really like to eat for breakfast. And fruit on the side. But look, we're gonna talk a little bit more about my downhill skateboarding. I'm not really on a roller coaster. I'm on a skateboard with brakes. There we go. But we're going to talk about more of that later. Right now, I want to talk about the Cool Whip bowl. In my family, butter bowls, Cool Whip bowls, any kind of plastic bowl, even sometimes like the ice cream buckets that like sherbet or Superman ice cream would come in. Neapolitan, yeah, that also comes in a bucket like that. We were big on keeping those for Tupperware, and they work just as good. But they're the absolute best cereal bowl, and if you don't keep these and use them, you're missing out, and you're helping on reducing waste. You know what I'm saying? So you should do that. Keep your bowls, guys, and the lids. But label them and date them. Whenever I worked in dietary, labeling, dating, and giving it an actual expiration date when, yeah, no, this can't be used anymore. It's awesome. It's wonderful. I mean, and I know they're not the prettiest, but you could probably do something about that too. I'm sure, you know, crafts. Make them cool looking. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know if it's a Southern thing or I don't know. You guys let me know if your grandmas and grandpas kept their stuff in these. I mean, yeah, of course they had actual Tupperware too. Like, do you guys remember Finger Hut? My mom had an issue with Finger Hut. My mom had an issue with Finger Hut. But these were always favorite. So I don't know if it's an Appalachian thing. I don't know if it's a Southern thing. If it's an American thing. I'd love to know. And the reason I am filming this today of all days is this is the first day I've been able to put myself in front of the camera, you know, even though I don't look the best right now. But I'm definitely trying to make a lot of changes. I've been working a lot. I'm going to be working even more in the next upcoming weeks. Probably round about 12 to 16 hour shifts because where I'm working is so understaffed. So, and it's going to be challenging because of the type of work I am doing, which I do not want to discuss at all because I know how people are. Man, I need a haircut. I was starting to look like a Javier, what is it? Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men. I haven't finished that movie, but what I've seen of it is really good. But, you know, his weird haircut, like, that's how I was starting to look there for a minute. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Oh, I need to get this mop cut. But yeah, I'm trying to do better for myself. And Hannah and Rafe have helped me a lot. Though I've also been pushing people away. Like, you know, I absolutely love my family. I love my family with all my heart, and being around them just makes me feel so happy. And but it's just you know, COVID has impacted our lives very drastically. um People have been sick, and we have had to quarantine, and we just haven't been able to see each other. And here's something else about me. I absolutely hate phone calls. Like, I don't know. I just really dislike phone calls. I've kind of always been that way. Um, of course, you know, I'll talk to you and stuff on the phone, but it's just, I don't know. Phone calls are just not my thing. And I've also been thinking a lot about my dad. I love my dad so, so much. And I know he loves me. And every time he calls me or I call him, you know, I don't know what to really say. Um, And I'm really, I'm hurting from that too. I know, I know my dad loves me, but I know he doesn't understand me. And instead of actually having a conversation about it, we just don't at all. We, just ignore that I'm gay. Uh, and I feel like, my interests and maybe my personality is just, I don't know, I just don't think he gets it. But he loves me, and he shows that um, whenever we do get to see each other. I get extra long hugs, and he kisses the top of my head and calls me baby girl, and, I mean, he does that with my sisters too. But thinking about writing him a letter. About to just throw a hat on this. But I've heard a lot of things about if you wear hats too much, you're going to go bald. And that it actually happened to my cousin. So I'm like, balding is already a thing in my family. My great grandfather, he was bald. And it's funny that he comes up because today is his birthday. Today is also Valentine's Day, but today is his birthday, and he would be 115. He would have been 115, and he passed away when he was 92, and that was in 1999. I was 8. But yeah, his name was also Carlton Banks. Not unusual to be loved by anyone. Yep. His name was Carlton Banks. And he would have been 115. And he was, I think, oh gosh, was he born here? I don't remember. But I know my great grandma was from Michigan, and they lived in Michigan. She was from Port Huron. And I wish I knew that whole backstory. Maybe I could talk to my mom one day. But my mom is their daughter. Another fun thing. They're pretty interesting too. Because they were absolutely the sweetest too. Oh my goodness, they were so sweet. My grandpa cried one time when we were leaving because he knew he was old, and he just knew he didn't see us but a few times a year because where they lived like 3 hours away, and my parents worked a lot and we had school and stuff. He cried because he was always afraid it was going to be the last time that he'd see us. But he and my great grandma, I call him grandpa and grandma, uh, worked for Henry Ford. The Henry Ford worked on his personal farm to for basically to it was like rent, I guess, in a way. Hey, I will work for you if you let me and my wife live in this house on your property. That's basically how it went. And, you know, they did that for a while, and then they moved to Ohio and had my mom and then her sister. Yeah, he passed in 1999. He was 92. And my grandma's birthday was actually a week before today. So their birthdays were a week apart, but 11 years apart too. He was born in 07 and she was born in 1918. But she ended up being contacted by these people in England. This, I don't know, but turns out that she was lineage to the King Edward III of England. And she ended up, like, they wanted to deed her the castle or something like that. They talked to her twin sister, Jessie, and Jessie turned it down. And they said, you know, Jessie turned it down, and we were wondering, you know, if you want to come over here and buy the castle. But yeah, long story short, she ended up with being offered this castle in England that belonged to King Edward III, and they said that she would have to actually move there, and she was like, no. So she turned it down too. I don't know what happened to it. Definitely owned by someone else now, I'm sure. I googled it a long time ago, but I don't know. Ain't my castle. Another thing about me, I'm a slow eater. But anyway, off the subject of my great-grandparents, back to my daddy. On my way to work tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I actually got this, I made this commission for someone who asked on Instagram. And whenever I showed it to my dad was blown away. He was like, I didn't know you could draw like that. And I was like, thanks, Dad. Like, that's cool. Dad likes my drawings. So he was like, can I have this? And I'm like, well, this is actually, you know, I'm going to be giving it to someone. They commissioned me for it. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, well, I can print you off one. So that was a while back. Like, you know, like I said, you know, I started having like a lot of depression issues and not being able to get out of bed and not wanting to call anyone, and you know, my relationships suffered a little. And not because, you know, we don't love each other or they don't love me anymore or they're mad or blah 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 blah, but it's, you know, I don't talk to anyone like I used to. And I mean, that also is because I've been working a lot, and at work, you know, there's hardly any time to do anything. And Sometimes it's even hard to get breaks, depending on if you can get anyone to answer their phone and they can come give you a break. But it's a pretty physical job. You kind of have to be on your toes a lot, paying absolute attention. So, I can't be talking on my phone, obviously. But back to this. I printed it off for Dad, and I'm wanting to write a letter today and drop this into his truck at his work on the way to my work. So, also, for this that I did a while back, I know some people have talked about wanting a print. So, if you want a print, let me know. Let me know. Because I'm more than willing. Do not hit yourself in your glasses with drawings. I've been disassociating a lot too. So there's that. If you don't know what like disassociation and derealization are, you should Google it. But it's something I've experienced since I was a little kid, and I always thought it was just a me thing and I didn't understand it, but it's carried over into adulthood. It's almost like I become hyper aware of myself, and it's almost like, how am I me? How am I real? I'm not real. This face is not mine. Nobody around me exists. And I kind of feel like I'm in another dimension just floating around. Like, it's almost like I go somewhere where there is no space, no time, no nothing. I don't know if maybe it's like a type of I can't even say it. Existential crisis. Yeah, like that. Why am I trying to drink my milk with a spoon? Delicious. Wow. Took me 32 minutes to do that. I am a slow eater. Very, very slow. But, I mean, disassociating, I don't talk a lot. I kind of just check out completely. And I run on, you know, brain function. Just do what I need to do and not think, not feel. And that's where I've been for a while. And I'm still struggling with that. I'm still going in and out of disassociating. And I did it the other day at work, and I lost time. But nobody seemed to notice that I was any different. So I know I was doing my job, doing what I was supposed to be doing, but it was just like, where was I? You know? So also, I'm not sure what triggers it. Is there a trigger? Is it random? I don't know. So I've talked to my doctor a little bit about it, but I mean, what can you really do? What can you really do? I don't think that there's any kind of medicine or anything for it. So you just kind of have to cope, right? To do things that I enjoy again. I'm trying to climb out. I'm trying to climb out of this hole. So also, I'm wearing my duck hunt hoodie today. Duck hunt hoodie. And I've had it for a while. I mean, you can tell it's fading. But love it. Love duck hunt. I love and hate that dog. You know, the one that pops up and laughs. Yeah. Love him and hate him. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. I don't expect everybody to understand what I'm going through, because you can't. You know, sometimes you really just don't understand until you yourself go through something. And I've also been really hard on myself, you know. And to circle back to not taking my medicine, and it was literally like I couldn't make myself do it. And it was because I wanted myself to suffer. I wanted, and it's so weird. It's so weird to think about it and admit that, but it's like I wanted. I wanted myself to suffer. And I don't understand the psychology behind that either. Self-sabotaging, I guess. I feel like I've done that to myself throughout my life a lot. And sometimes I wonder if it's because of you know, I feel like I deserve it because, you know, I do have some regrets. Shit. Okay, A, I forgot everything I was about to say. B, I started disassociating again. But I pulled myself out of it. Um, anyway, I feel like this video has been long enough, and I've jumped around a lot. It's just long story short, I wasn't doing good, and I'm still not doing very good, but today I feel good enough. I feel okay enough to discuss it. Um, I have my Zoloft up to see if that's going to help at all. Um, also, like, okay, off subject completely. My oldest sister says my hair's black. Is it? Is my hair black? Cracks me up. I mean, like, I do see, like, where it does look dark, but then it's like I get in some light and I'm a reddish brown. Right? Shoot, I don't know. My family has weird hair color. But I am going to end this video and try to get this up soon.